You need to move up.
What's going on, everybody? This is Julian back with My Mentality Podcast, and we are on episode 3. That's right, 3 of Men's Physique by Men's Physique. I got my boys here today, missing one, Jay Wood, Ja, and Micah. How y'all doing today?
No complaints, man. Blessed and highly favored.
Likewise.
Big facts. Me too. God is good. So, starting it off, before we get into the recaps and everything, man, let me go ahead and ask this. How's y'all week going?
I got it. No, week is going good, man. I'm actually up in the Providence area, or Rhode Island, Massachusetts. It's a mixture of all three, I guess. So I'm up here for work right now. So, just basically doing my thing when handling my job responsibilities and whatnot. A little bit cold up here, but still making it happen. Still staying on track. Found me a Planet Fitness, and I got my meals with me. So I'm making it happen.
You bought a griddle this time?
I got, man. It's still a little skillet, but it has like a little lid on there. I wanted to go ahead and give that a little try. So it's cooking a little different, but it's straight. It's straight for the most part. I might return it this time.
Yo, I made the best investment of my life a couple weeks ago. I got that meat grinder. I've been on it, bro. On it. Grind my chicken, make ground chicken. I can just scoop it and eat it and leave. Best purchase I ever made, bro. Best purchase.
That's why I eat seafood. I can just chop everything up, just eat it. I ain't gonna worry about grinding it.
Bro, what do you eat?
Tilapia, salmon. That's the base of it, right? And I just mix it all in one. So it'll be tilapia and rice, salmon and rice, salmon and potatoes. Just chop it all up, serve something on it, ketchup or whatever. Yeah. That's all year. All year.
Yeah, I remember when you told me what is that called again? Pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
I'm about to say Episcopalian, but I think that's a religion.
No,
I don't even think it's that. I think it's a made-up word.
Is it Episcopalia? What is it?
Presbyterian?
No, there's another one.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Episcopalia or something. But anyway, hey, side note though, I watched this dope TV show yesterday. It's called Devoured on Vice, and it's about the food industry and like the mafia and how they're involved in the food industry and stuff. But they did a story about this dude. They called him the Codfather, and he owned like all the fishing boats up in like New England. And this was not too long ago. And basically what he was doing was going out farther in the ocean and catching gray sole. Is that the fish? Like it's a super uppity fish, but he was listing it as haddock. So like, cause you can only catch a certain amount. He was listing it as like 2,000 pounds of haddock and then turn around and selling it under market in New York for like 100,000 a pop, but not recording it on his taxes. Bro was getting like, I think they said he had to end up paying the IRS back 20 mil after they figured it out. That's how much money he was making off this fish. So you might have ate some stolen fish in your life, brother.
Yeah, you got a lot of time on your hands.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm single. I ain't got no kids or wife. I'll be sitting there watching everything. Big fact. But back to y'all's week, man. How's it going?
Oh man, my week's great. Training's been good. Work's been good. Still progressing. Came back this week. Still getting stronger. So yeah, man. God is great. No complaints.
Hey, by the way, congrats on the anniversary, man.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Had 2 little badass 5-year-olds running around for the past 2.5 days. But it's quiet now. But yeah, man, just blessed. I can't complain.
Nice.
Good to see you. Good to see you, brothers.
Nah, everything's good with me. Training has just been a whole lot better because I've been traveling a whole lot more lately. Strength is coming back. Not that it was ever gone, but
about to say, where'd it leave?
Bro. Because of the fact I was traveling so much, man, I was training, but I wasn't like, pushing myself like how I usually do. Like I was telling you today, I did legs. I haven't had 5 plates on my back in a while. I tried it today. And I got some work to do. I only got it for 8. But
only.
Yeah, tripping. You got it, bro.
Hey, I mean, I know Micah can do that though.
Yeah, I can, but I'm not. You see me on
Nah,
that hack
everything's
squat
been
machine.
good. Oh no, I hate the hack squat, bro. I can't even do that,
bro. Like that's like the hack squat, and I don't know if y'all feel this way, but like as far as quad, that is by far the exercise where I feel like I'm using my quads the most and getting the most out of it is on hack squat. If I do a regular squat or a Smith, I feel like I'm like recruiting more muscles, especially my lower back, to try to like help get that up. Whereas I feel like hack squat like removes that almost, and I'm just strictly using my quads. And it hurts. I don't know how y'all feel, but I like that better.
I just like squatting, man. Especially like when I start off legs, I always start off with hamstrings first. That way, for when I do go into a squat, like regular free weight or a Smith machine, it's literally nothing but in my quads.
Got you.
And I just connect well with it. Now, a hack squat, I'm not gonna lie to you, that mess kills my knees for whatever reason. I just have to have a good one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't just use just anyone.
But it's so crazy you say that, like how different we are. Because like hack squat does nothing to my knees, but you put me on a free bar, like barbell squat, man, I feel like I'm 78 years old, bro. My knees be cracking and everything.
That's how I am. Shit, I got to load it up just so I can get the parallel. That's all I sit there. You sit there and try to warm up with like 135 and stuff. I can't even get the parallel, so I gotta load it.
Yep.
I gotta load it so I can actually, start working. I'm like, nah. So put me on that. Put me on that hack squat. My gym has a pendulum. That's that's good. Yeah, that's all I need. So since I've been doing that, loading that up and progressing that, yeah, it's been money.
You still keep the same rep ranges when you switch? Like when you do a hack compared to a Smith or a free bar, would you keep the same rep range?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I for compound stuff, I'm basically in that, 6 to 12, rep range anyway, which is, relatively heavy. Like I'm not gonna squat 20 reps.
Right.
Kudos people that do, but I don't feel like standing under anything that's compressing my spine for 20 reps. You know what I'm saying? Even bench press, like I'll do it, but like I'm not there for 20 reps. I'll give you a rest pause, which may get me to 20 or something like that, but I'm not doing 20, off top, because I don't know if it's me not being able to actually push the weight or me just being tired of the damn exercise. So I like those rep ranges for compound. I'll do like a 7 to 9 and then a rest pause, 11 to 15, 11 to 20. And then, for other stuff, working the higher rep ranges, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. But yeah,
dope.
Everything's pretty much the same. Heavy.
I like
heavy.
It.
One way.
One way.
One way.
Only one way is the heavy way.
One way, man.
But yeah, man. So again, bro, I appreciate y'all being on. This like my virtual family now, man. So looking forward to these conversations every week, especially with something that we all got in common as far as what we're fans of, and y'all compete professionally. I'm trying to get there. But Boston Pro, let's go ahead and recap it. I'm interested to see how y'all feel about it. I got my feelings. So whoever want to start, how y'all feel about the way the show ended out?
About the same as Arnold.
I went first last time.
Yeah, I went first last time. Go ahead, John. Yeah, John, you're quiet. You quiet too. Go ahead, go first, man.
No, I was saying it's about the same as the Arnold, except everyone just came in a whole lot better. I think everyone will agree that Aaron Banks may have won the Arnold, but he came in a whole lot better looking at the Boston.
Agreed.
I mean,
Diago too. I thought Diago came in way better than what he was.
I thought he was the same, honestly.
Really? I thought he was a little bit tighter, man. It might have just been me, but
no, I think everyone came in like with some pretty drastic improvements. I mean, of course, you had a couple of new guys up there. It was good to see them get compared to everyone else. But I mean, obviously, the Arnold was the same as the Boston Pro. So I mean,
it was, but we had a very interesting change of placings that like confused me, because if you just said what you just said, which is everybody got sharper and improved, how does
wait, hold up. Minus Emmanuel, my bad.
Okay. I'm about to say Because I don't understand how email drops down to 4 if that be the case.
Yeah. Nah, that he was one of the exceptions, unfortunately. But I mean, you live and you learn, bro.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to him? He's away sharp enough. So honestly, I couldn't watch it. I tried to purchase it about 5 times, and for some reason, it just wouldn't go through. So I was like, I'm gonna catch these updates from Men's Physique News or whoever else posts them. So I saw pictures. You know what I'm saying? And pictures don't really. I mean, it does it some justice, but I mean, you can only see so much. I can tell Diogo came in, and he did look better. He looked sharper, and he looked a little bit more full. I don't know if it's like the lighting, tan, or whatever, but he looked like he made probably he improved the most out of everybody that we saw for the Arnold, in my opinion. I thought Spoon improved. I thought Banks improved. Emmanuel, I didn't think was too far off. He didn't. I don't think he got any better because last week I thought for the Arnold I thought he was on, and that was like his best look, right? So I think he just peaked and he achieved his best look early, and and that was a lot to measure up to, for this past week. Hopefully he nails it again, for this next show. And then Yadri, I think that was a surprise, kind of for everybody. I had him top six-ish, but not top, not third. Definitely. I think, for his physique, I mean, front wise, I mean, he's good. I still think, his arms may overpower his physique, some. And I think when it came to the back, and he's admitted this too, like in his post, like just having to bring up, the thickness in his back, width as well. So I'll say like even up there, to me, if I give him, third or fourth best front, he had the 5th best back, out of those top 5, but probably had, 3rd best conditioning, So I don't know. It was a good show. I can't say they got any placings wrong. Like it looked, everything that I saw from pictures looked like, they earned their placings. I caught Ben, Ryan, and the crew, they little chat after prejudging, and they were talking about Mike was saying something about Emmanuel, like, and I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know if he was talking about posing or he was making like he did something, but I caught it late. Yes, what was it?
It was a mixture of I was about to curse on here, but honestly, I didn't know what the hell he was really talking about for real, because he mentioned posing most of it. Like, he mentioned like, man, he just wasn't really hitting his pose and this and that. Or like he didn't open up his back the right way. And it was, I ain't gonna lie, like I said, it seemed like it was kind of all over the place. And he was kind of throwing out some excuses. I ain't gonna lie. He was throwing out some excuses instead of just like, hey, listen, this is what happened. And I guess to go back on like the improvements from the Arnold and stuff like that, E-Banks for sure was just like, hey, listen, he took it. He took the show. You know what I mean? He came in much improved from the Arnold, and then Diogo did as well. And like you said, Michael, like not like E-Man came in like too far off. It's just everybody else made it it just looked better than they did last week. And so so there was that. But I guess he was saying that his posing was a little bit off, like his back pose. And I guess there was 2 times that he didn't show his back off the right way. Now, granted, I mean, I ain't gonna say that's gonna like take off like major points off you, but I think he still had him getting like top 3 for whatever reason. But the judge didn't have him that way. It was something weird like that. But besides that, nothing takes away from like how everybody else came in. With Spoon, he came in, made some good improvements as well. Of course, with the Gidry situation, I'm still trying to figure him out. And y'all can enlighten me, but I'm trying to figure him out on like what they're truly seeing with him when it comes to some areas. I like I said, I mean, I'm all, once you're there, it's a whole different story. But I'm still trying to figure it out because, like you said, like his back might have been like 5th best, his front might have been 4th best, but he had like 3rd best in conditioning. So even though I've always said like in the pro league, conditioning is at a such higher priority that like maybe that's what they just went with up front. Like if you say he got the 3rd best conditioning, well, he got 3rd place. Like it's like disregard everything else. He got the 3rd best conditioning, so you get 3rd place. So it went from like a conditioning order rather than like overall look in that case.
Or it's just he was it could be the sense that like E-Banks and I guess they put E-Banks and Diogo were so much able to use their structures and things that if he was the third best conditioning, they gave him, like you said, for that purpose. Because I don't think he has a better physique than Emmanuel. I don't personally, or Spoon. But so to me, Spoon's biggest issue, obviously, he's just gonna have some more size. Like, and Spoon was out the game for 2 years, and so he's getting back. So what he's doing now is still amazing to me, but he's just gonna have to add some size to get there. But yeah, I don't understand Guidry as much. I'm not hating on the guy's physique or anything, but like his back is not up to par with the others, like you said. And then the arms to me are just they are their own person.
Yeah. But I mean, he's like I said, I mean, he's one of the bigger competitors, right? You know, and so is that kind of telling you kind of which way they're leaning, you know, towards, you know, the bigger competitor, you know, that is conditioned. You know, like I'll agree that, you know, shape wise, within those 5, you know, I think everyone else, of course, had him in shape. But I think when it comes to muscle, he had arguably the most muscle, you know, on that stage. You know, so you know whatever he's bringing. Like I said, I mean, he got what third, second in Fort Lauderdale,
Atlantic
right?
Coast
last year.
Atlantic Coast.
And you know, even though Dre was having like some posing, I don't know what, you know, his back pose is off for whatever reason. I mean, he still came in. Like I said, he was dry, you know, tight, came with that same look, needed to do some things with his posing, which he cleaned up. You know, he was better, you know, for this show. But I mean, you know, he has something that they're looking for.
Right.
You know. And so, you know, I don't know how they judge. Like I said, if I knew that, I'd be in the running seat, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I would be working towards. You know, I'm just working towards like my physique. But you know, if we knew what to expect every time, it'd make all this a lot easier. But you know, evidently he got something figured out. You know, because he's placed top 5, you know, in 3 shows in a row.
Yeah,
with some good comps.
Yeah.
So will we say that he's kind of on the brink of hitting? What, like, as far as like looking at Olympias, right? Like would you say he's on the brink of maybe like that top 12 type area?
No, I mean, I think, I mean, it's kind of like even when you look at this show or the past show, you know, Boston, you look at Arnold, you know, even this coming up show, there's no Olympians on this coming up show. I mean, I think it may be one. He was you know, maybe 5 years ago or something. You know, this past one had what 2, 3 count, well 4, right? Because you know Ricardo got 6. But I mean, when you start putting you know those dudes that are winning shows, dominating shows, I mean it's a lot of people that's gonna be ahead of me. You know, all of us. You know, it's just in terms of what they've achieved. You know, the looks that they're gonna get and everything else. Like you know, the Olympia lineup is stacked for a lot of reasons, not just from a physique standpoint, but tenure, you know, and everything else. So I think he'll have a tough time, you know, competing with his current physique, you know, with some of the dudes that shoot, you know, top 20, you know, top 25, because they got, you know, all of them got size too.
Right.
You know, all of them got size too. So, but I mean, I think he's on the brink of, you know, depending on it's all about who shows up, right? I think that he can stay within that 1 to 5 spot and definitely get himself enough points to qualify for the O. And I think it's a bit tougher, you know, towards the, you know, depending on where he's at, like as he progresses through the season when everybody starts jumping back, because you got 9 people per show now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that Waxahachie, I think that's his next show, whatever it's called, Waxahachie,
Wasabi,
whatever. But I think that show is going to be competitive because it was last year.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I think, you know, a lot of that is shake out, and we'll see, you know, we'll start to see what they're really looking for. But like right now, she's looking like they're looking for, you know, muscle, like, you know, the bigger competitors, and for you to come in, you know, dialed in. And if that's the case, you know, he earned that, in my opinion.
Yeah. And that Wasatch show, like you said, it's interesting about that show too, because it is earlier. But I feel like that's the one where like the West Coast guys, they kind of, it's not too far from home. So you get them powerhouses to enter in. And then it's a weird mix at that show to me of everybody. It is competitive. I think, who was it last year? It was Joe. wasn't it Joe and George, and it was quite a few dudes in there.
Corey, because I think Corey won.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a competitive show. So, I mean, that's the next one. I mean, that's the one that I see everybody doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be willing to bet that Guidry, because he's from Louisiana, he probably does that Louisiana pro show just because that's home.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He gonna do the what's that, the Shreveport one.
Yeah.
So. But I mean, like I said, they look for, in the past, that's been a different look, as well. So I don't know, man. It'll be interesting, and just to see how everything kind of shapes out for the rest of the year. Like, are they going for size, shape, and how consistent it is across, the different coasts? Because typically, size East, look West Coast. They looking for more shapely, model type, and in the South, I don't even know. Kind of, I guess more. I don't even know really. You know what I'm saying? It changes, but mostly kind of complimenting that West Coast judging as well. Like, not too big and has a certain look. So I mean, we'll see where it goes.
For sure. I got a question, and Jay Wood, answer this one for me too, because I obviously all y'all can, but I remember you did, because talking about Guidry, we're talking about him, right? I would say that the men's physique division is kind of like, he's the guy. Remember I said last week, like, even though you win a show, you can still be the talk of the show just because, and it wasn't nobody ready for this, and obviously, like, that's Guidry. So as far as picking the next show and keeping that steam, Jay Wood, I remember you did like New York Pro, right? You had a pretty good showing. How do you guys approach, or how do you approach that now? So now eyes are on you a little bit. Everybody's wondering how you're gonna look the next one. Does that put more pressure on you? Does it make you more excited? Like, how did you address that?
Well, I mean, for me, it would make me more excited for real. Because now I would say I played a strategic game too, because I kept showing up in front of Tyler Manion's face, or maybe it just worked out that way. You know what I mean? But I used to think that, like, Tyler Manion wasn't feeling my physique like that until I literally had like a one-on-one conversation. No, first I got an email. I emailed him, and I had a one-on-one conversation with him in Texas one time. And like the email that I got, I looked at that joint and I was like, damn, like I that was one of the best critiques I've ever received. And it was so true. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, like I couldn't disagree with nothing he said. And he was like, actually, I've been judging you for a while, so you need to work on this, that, this, and that, and change this. I'm like, all right, bet. So that's just what I did. So I literally did exactly what he said. Talked to him again. He's like, hey, listen, way better than you did a few weeks ago. But when you're moving forward, work on this too. Because, it was just real. You know what I mean? So like when you get that, you get the honest feedback, honestly. But then, like, to me, it's not more pressure. I just feel like just work towards it. And I know we talk about like the looks that they might be looking for. Only thing you can really truly do is just keep working on your physique and improving your physique and show it the best ways you can. You really can't depend, you really can't choose who shows up. You can't choose who judges the shows. So like, just keep working on what you can improve on best, and then just kind of show up. But like, to me, I feel like, yeah, if you go ahead, you're like right there and you're like, okay, cool. Olympia panel judges are putting you in a certain spotlight. It should be exciting because it's like, all right, bet. So I'm not that far off. I just got to do this. I'm right there. And so, hell, I was behind Clarence McFadden for like 3 shows in a row. You know what I mean? Like, if Clarence got 7th, I got 8th. If Clarence got 5th, I got 6th. Like, and if he got 4th, I got 5th. So I'm like, and then he wins the show. So I'm like, all right, I can't be that off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm there because it's like I'm showing I'm contending if I'm sitting behind a guy that's getting top 5s. So it's just like, so just keep on improving. I knew for myself I need to continue to work on my conditioning. That's one thing that he had over me, and he placed ahead of me every time with better conditioning. And so I just, so like I said, it's just like, it's one of those things that you just really just look at it as an opportunity to get better, but then be excited and look forward to it. And so that's how I feel.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, it really was a good answer. Appreciate that. It's one of them gems that we dropped. So I guess we can go into the only show that we're gonna recap. Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. So this is always real authentic. Y'all probably getting more gems than recaps on this one because Micah already done dropped a couple. Jay Wood just dropped a great answer. We still waiting on Ja. Ja look like he about to fall asleep if you're watching he hit legs out of it. But yeah, so we'll recap this one real quick, and then I got a couple questions from the guys. I think we're just gonna go that route because I like that. I like to learn, so I'll be listening to y'all and jotting this down in my head. But
well, I got the questions. So, what do y'all feel? How do y'all feel about the placements? 1 through 5
for Boston Pro.
Yeah, for Boston Pro.
Y'all want to go first? Y'all want me to?
Go through the placements real quick.
So I'm only gonna do top five. I'm only gonna do
Banks,
top
Diogo, Guidry, E-Man, and Spoon.
I mean, I don't really get the Guidry situation yet. That's the only thing. Like, and it's not knocking. I just don't get it yet. And I said the same thing about E Banks last year. And so I asked Ryan straight up. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm just curious. Like, he looked great, but I think he was a little more on the slender end back then. And I'm like, yo, but like, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, like, what does he got like that they really liking like that? And he broke it down to me like piece by piece. It's like, hey, listen, well, one of the things that Ryan highlighted is like, yeah, he has his body parts, but like, his abs are like symmetrically perfect. You know what I mean? Like, he got A-carton abs where you just sit there and it's just like, all right, so his abs are just there, perfect, And then genetically, he's just really blessed. And I'm sure it's a whole different thing when you're there. But then as I'm watching, I'm like, seeing him progress and he's filling out that frame, I'm like, okay, now I really see,
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things where I got to say the same thing for Guidry. Like, all right, what is it? You know what I mean? Because like, he looks great. You know what I mean? He's somebody I would like to look like if I went to the beach. You know what I mean? And show stunting, whatever. But like y'all say, when you think about like an actual like physique and aesthetic and stuff like that, first thing y'all say is his arms stick out. So it's like, all right, well, his balance ain't really there. He underposes, I feel like, just to kind of keep everything structured together. If you like watch E-Man pose next to him, E-Man actually looks wider than him. So because
he turns a lot in his poses.
Right. So he's hiding something, but it's showing off in a way where the judges are liking it. And so I just have to like be there and be like, okay, got it. That's what it is. And so besides that would be the only thing. I would still have him in the top 5. I just, I just felt like the flows of the physique, everybody else flowed a little bit better from like body parts with the, with their condition or what they brought. I just feel like the flow was better with the other physiques, but maybe his conditioning was just that top of the line that they had to give, like it was a third place conditioning. And so that's why I mentioned earlier that was probably the priority on the judging. And so
y'all gonna disagree with me probably, but I don't think Diago improved that much to be 2.
That's what I meant.
That's just my personal opinion.
So what would the lineup be?
If you're gonna say, I would honestly go E-Banks, E-Man, Guidry, Diago, and then Spoon, personally. And I'm basing that off of your explanation of Guidry, like the conditioning and everything. If it was just my personal opinion, I'd probably have Guidry at 5 and go E-Banks, E-Man, Diago, Spoon, then Guidry.
Right.
And that's not a knock at him. That's just my personal, what I would like to see. And to be honest, like I love E-Banks, but if Diago is hitting, I would probably pick him over E-Banks if he's really hitting, because I like Diago's physique. And it's probably because I'm a midget like Diago. So like E-Banks, I don't resonate with because he's so damn tall. Felt the same way about Raymond. Like I wasn't the great, or Kaiki. I'm not the biggest fans of them, but they're giants in the game. So when I look at them, I'm like, I don't even see similarities or anything. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm explaining that right.
No, I got you. I got you. What about you, Josh?
I mean, honestly, we're all saying the same thing. It's just the whole Guidry situation. I mean, he has Javion syndrome. He got big arms, bro.
Well, I was waiting to say it, but I didn't want to dish you. But I was like, him and Ja are as big as hell.
Well, I mean, I knew it was on your mind, but no, I mean, he has the same problem that I do. But I mean, like what Woods and Micah is saying, Guidry's Guidry. Is that even how you pronounce his name? Guidry?
I think.
Guidry.
And well, whatever. Anyway, but his conditioning was just that good that I think you would just award him a 3rd. But as far as like from a structure standpoint, he had the most muscle on his frame, but not necessarily the best structure compared to everyone else. From a posing standpoint, I don't necessarily particularly like his posing like that. But I mean, it's kind of like what Wood is saying. I'm not there, so I can't really say.
But so like you can see though, and like obviously everybody does it, but like he is hiding weaknesses in his posing, and like I feel like you can see it. Not that you can see the weaknesses, you can just see the effort to do like I'm turning this way to like I don't know.
Jay Wood made it.
Yeah,
Jay Wood made it. I was saying Jay Wood made a good point. I wasn't even thinking about that, like him kind of posing smaller. Yeah, so it doesn't it doesn't overpower his physique, which is smart on his behalf.
His lats, really, like
which is smart on his behalf. But I mean, he does have a small waist though. I will say that, like, and so even though like he's turned sideways, he still gives you that taper because he does have a small waist, and the way he places his arms is still kind of adding to his width.
Right.
So it still gives him a silhouette that you can judge with those other guys. And I can't say he has a shape better than him.
Right.
But if he comes in, if everybody comes in on point, is he gonna be third? No. Right?
Right.
If everybody comes in a little bit off, you looking at E-Man and then Spoon, we said just size-wise isn't there yet, right? So I mean that I give him this just due. Like when it comes to conditioning, like my man, he knows what side his bread is buttered on.
Yeah.
And he gonna come in condition every time. And you're gonna have to put your best, up against his best. At least from what I saw these past 3 shows.
Right.
So
it's interesting you say that too, because that's how Dexter won an Olympia, like literally.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I'm gonna be Mr. Consistent, and if you mess up, I'm right here. And that's literally how he won a show. And
that's it, because you can look at even with Atlantic Coast, right? You can say Dre better shape. Who won that? Aria, better shape. I mean, it was some people, first and second call outs, better shapes, but you a little bit off, and he's where he needs to be. I mean, consistency is gonna rule the game, right? And that's what it is. And the fact that he's nailing it every time, and then in front, like with good competition, like they're gonna start looking for him now. So I mean, he's positioning himself well. It's just that you can't just stop there. Like you see things in your physique, you got to bring up, you got to work on that. And the only thing he can do is get bigger, right? Like try to take his arms out of the equation, get his chest bigger, which can happen. I think he can bring his chest up, and then his back, with upper back, and he may be he may be too big for the division. Like who knows? Because his arms is big. His arms is huge. Jai, your arms are huge. You know what I'm saying? Like Jai, your arms are huge. So when I look at like if everything in the rule, to the game is symmetry, right? So if you're trying to bring up everything and have it look the same, he's gonna be huge.
Right.
Yeah.
He is gonna be huge, so I don't know what the future holds, but like I said, my man right now has found his formula, between him and with Cash. And I ain't gonna knock him for it. Like I said, he did what he was supposed to do. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think E-Man was far off, but he wasn't where he was the week before. If he was where he was the week before, he would have been past Guidry and probably would have been in second place fighting for first. But Banks did improve.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I can't give him the nod, just because, he wasn't far off. Like you were off. Everybody improved except for you.
Right.
So, he got penalized for it.
Nice.
Yep.
Anything else on that?
That's it, dog.
No.
That's
on
it.
that one.
On that one. Good question. Appreciate the question, man. Y'all can ask questions too, man. I appreciate that. If it
I was
pops
just
in your
wondering,
head,
man.
Yeah, if it pops in your head, man, ask you. Make good conversations. But
and for those people watching, this is not us hating. You know what I'm saying? This is us.
No, and people are gonna take it that way, but it's not hating. This is critique. And I can say this right now. Like as far as the physiques that we're talking about, like they were in shape. Like obviously email was a little bit off, but they were in shape. They brought it. And I respect that on another level because at least they're not just showing up sloppy, which we've seen. And
all of them can beat me on stage right now.
Right.
So it is what it is. Like they can beat me right now. It is what it is. They all look dope. It's never a takeaway at all. But it's of course as a grown individual, we can all have opinions. So
yep.
Most definitely. So the show coming up, obviously. So guys, for y'all listening, watching, there's 3 shows coming up this week. 2 of them are in Libya and Kuwait, I believe. So we're not gonna review the Libya and Kuwait ones. It's just like the list. I don't really know a whole bunch of the people and all those things. It's like an IFBB international show. So the one that we're reviewing is the Muscle Contest Fit World, and that is in Anaheim, California, and I believe that is March 19th. So I think even the one in Libya, I think is the 18th. So
yeah, I saw one that was the day before.
Yeah, I think that one. So, but for this list, I'll go ahead and name off the competitors, and we can just talk about what we see. So we got Jeremy Coleman, Jeremy Dutra, Juan Manuel Gomez, Myron.
Wait, hold up. Can you share your screen?
Oh yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
You got pics?
Huh?
You got pictures too? You gonna go to their profile?
Yeah, I got some of them.
Okay.
Some of these guys I can't find, so we're just gonna have to go with it. Like there's a couple dudes that I typed up that I couldn't get to, like Jabbar Tobias, couldn't find him on there. The Juan Manuel Gomez, I couldn't find him. So if y'all know those IGs, I can look them up.
Nah, they're gonna have to be in like 8th and 9th place this week. For these predictions. Sorry.
Hey man, sorry y'all. All right, so can y'all see my screen?
It's getting there.
Not yet. Yeah, okay now.
Okay, so this is the lineup for the Muscle Contest Fit World Pro Men's Physique. So we got, if we're looking at who competed in the last couple of weeks, it's just, I believe, E-Man and the Daniel Leon guy from Italy. We got McKenna Woodbury, Jabbar Tobias, Ben. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because I'll butcher it. E-Man, Daniel, Myron Griffin, Juan Manuel Gomez, Jeremy Dutra, and Jeremy Coleman. So
yeah, one thing I'm gonna say, man, who's the judge? Is it Tamar or whatever his name is? Tamar?
Tamer.
Let me check.
Tamer, yeah. Yo, I don't know who it is. Well, they be over judging these shows. It'd be funny. It'd be like 5 people, and they be over judging these shows.
Talking about like call outs and spinning them around and all that.
Yeah. They gonna overjudge this little group.
Yeah, because I know. Shoot, Tamir did City Limits last year, man. He killed us.
For real?
Yeah, he gonna overjudge this.
We worked. So they gonna work.
Hey, real quick. Word on the street. That dude. What was it? This dude named Mike. Mike out from West Coast. I think Mike's man. I don't know. I think he was with Zero Gravity like some years ago. He was on the other live. I think he said he might hop on his list. I think he's working with Cuts right now.
Isn't his IG name like Mike Motivate or something?
Something like that. Yeah, Mike Motive. Yeah, I think he might hop on his list. I'm not sure.
I think he's working with DJ Pure now.
Okay, got you.
What was Mike Motivate?
Yeah.
I know what y'all talking about now.
Yeah, he got a tiny waist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was saying that he might get the call to hop in his joint.
Hey, quick question, man. How long do y'all have to enter a show before it's like a cutoff, or is there one?
Some people will say like the day before the show.
Yeah.
Like I used to be scared of that joint until I last minute hopped into Chicago Pro, and I put my contract in like Monday of the week of the show.
Really?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a week in advance, right? So the Friday of the week before is like supposed to be the deadline. So that's when they want everybody in so they get the list out.
Yeah. So yeah, the latest I've done mine is like Monday.
Okay. Y'all can still see my screen, right?
Yeah, you good.
Yep.
All right, bet. So let's see. That's the lineup. So the first guy I got, this is Myron Griffin. I can't really, I mean, that looks like, I don't know if that's a recent picture. It looks old. Oh, the video.
This old.
It's old.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, yeah, January 28th. It's old.
Yeah. All right. He don't really have nothing recent to how you look. Has anybody seen him?
He did a couple shows last year. Where is it at? Keep scrolling. No, that's not the show. That the one in the middle, in the center, right there.
Right here.
Oh, I know that. I remember this dude. Yeah, he had some decent finishes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did pretty good last year. Didn't he? Had a night, like you said, some decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's an older guy too.
Dope look too.
Yeah,
he says right here, first in Masters. So I know he's an older guy too.
Yeah.
I thought he had a dope physique.
Yeah, I mean, if you bring this,
his back is ridiculous.
Yeah, you bring this. It ain't gonna be an easy show to win. Hip sitting right there.
Yeah, now Myron looks dope, man. I would say if you talk about who we already talked about, maybe in the top two between Ben and E-Man, it'd just be a little bit more on the size thing. Myron has crazy density. I mean, crazy conditioning, which makes him look bigger.
Mm-hmm.
But like that would be if I had a takeaway, that would be it. But Myron looks dope, man.
Yeah.
This might go back with a little bit with what y'all was talking about earlier with Guidry and the conditioning, because if he bringing it like this.
Yeah, if he come conditioned, he'll give him a run for their money.
Yeah,
I mean, we know Ben is conditioned, we know E-Man's conditioned, so it's gonna be if he come like this, he's gonna make it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. So we got him. Next guy I got on here, JC Fit. This is Jeremy Coleman. It looks like I don't know if he is he got a lot of dark sports stuff. I don't know.
He's a dark sports
athlete.
Yeah. I think he's the only Olympian in the lineup.
Really?
Yeah, a while ago.
But as an older,
I didn't know
right?
he was an Olympian.
When do you know when he went Olympian? It says he's Olympian.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't look like he got anything on his page that's too recent.
He has a really good
Damn, is that Photoshop?
Well, listen, man, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he has a really good physique, and things are sharp. Like his arms are sharp, his back is sharp. He has a good shape. Most people have been getting him in. Their prediction has been top 5, top 6 for him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Next guy, E-Man, of course. Shout out E-Man. Congrats on the sponsorship. The Global Formulas, my guy. What do y'all think? E-Man brings it the way he's supposed to. Probably be him, Ben, Myron.
Yeah. He tighten up his posing and come in crisp. I don't think he has to worry about being too full or looking too big. Just come in crisp, man. And he's favored.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in the West Coast.
Yeah, don't do nothing crazy, dog. Just come in. just come in.
It's funny.
Carving up and stuff, man. Yeah. Get some Skittles, do a pump, and you good.
It's funny I'll say that, but it feel like a lot of dudes be sabotaging themselves. Well, them and their coaches be sabotaging themselves, trying these new things, or like you said, worried a little bit too much about who's showing up. And then basically what I'm saying is, so if you're worried about who's showing up and you're changing your best physique to try to match that, you could potentially harm yourself, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you all this, and in your opinion, what's better, just to bring the best you or try to work to match who you're going up against?
Bring the best you. I've messed up doing my own thing. That was my Atlantic Coast. I was like, let me see, feeling myself like, hey, let's see how full we can get,
Right.
You start sacrificing, lines or whatever, man. So your best you, what it takes to bring the best you, bring that, and whatever adjustments you need to make, it's 2 shows, right? You got a prejudge and then you got, the night show, make your adjustments then, if you need to carb up or whatever. But for me, I'm never sacrificing lines and just being crisp again.
Never.
My opinion.
Yeah, I would say the same thing because while you try to make adjustments for somebody else, they probably adjusting to look different anyway. So you adjusting to something that they might not even look like that very next week. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get fuller because this person's showing up, and they come in just extra dialed, and you looking silly. you looking silly. Like,
it's funny you say that. I watched the documentary, a Kai Green documentary, and the first Olympia he did, he got fourth, and everybody like at the time was thinking he had a chance to win, but he actually downsized because I think the year before, either the year before Dex won, and then Phil Heath was coming up, so everybody was like leaning towards those type of physiques. So Kai downsized like 20 pounds, and then Jay Cutler and Branch Warren got first and second. And his coach was like, we tried to play that game and we should have just made Kai the best Kai, and he probably could have won an Olympia or at least got second.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least that's based on like a shift, right? Some type of shift in judging. You know, Jay Wood talking about the unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? It's like you trying to sit up here and game plan for something you have no idea about when you can just bring your best you.
Right.
And I mean, and that's it. Like every time we step out there, you competing against yourself, really. You know, it's like, let me bring the best version of myself, and however that translates on stage. You know, hopefully I did what I was supposed to do in the offseason. Let that translate on stage, but don't start doing anything crazy, you know, to where you jeopardizing that. Like, you know, you can ruin a whole 8-week, 10-week prep just by trying to, you know, be aggressive on carbs or whatever else. It's like, nah, man, for men's physique, come in on point. Like you ain't gotta be bubbly and huge or whatever else. You know, that's why you pumping up in the back. You know, that's where you getting your bubblies from. You know, get some muscle on you. So I feel what Jay was saying.
I feel that.
I've been there.
Yeah. No, I appreciate y'all speaking on that. So the next guy, Ben out of Kentucky. He's gonna be in that running for that, like I said, top 3, probably more than likely top 2, but depending on how he comes in. But yeah, what y'all think?
I mean, he looking hard there. His midsection look hard.
Yeah.
Waist small.
Yeah.
Small waist.
Yeah.
Good shape. So I mean, shit, he bring this, and I mean his back is solid too.
Yeah. The only thing that was holding him back, from what I remember, was his chest.
It looked like he filled it up in that upper clavicle area.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say, it seems like either he's posing it the right way or he filled it up the right way, but it doesn't look to be as a blaring of a weakness as it was maybe like a couple years ago.
Actually, I like Ben as a poser though. Ben's pretty smooth on stage, and
agreed.
I feel like he's consistent. He's consistent with hitting his, like he strikes it, like you're gonna see a right pose every time he strikes it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I mean that makes, so you're talking about if posing is being critiqued, and it's
E-Man dropping the 5th. I'm just playing.
Yeah,
I'm just playing.
He ain't dropping the 5th, but I mean it's gonna make it that much, you know, kind of in Ben's favor. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you know, because I'll give him his props. You know, like he can pose,
and you know Ben is going into the show thinking about that. I know he has to be thinking about that. So,
of course, of course.
Yeah, because consistency is not only just about bringing the physique; it's also about consistently showing the judges every time this.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
So, since Julian brought up Emmanuel, do you all honestly think posing is judged in men's physique as the way it should be?
I'm gonna say, go ahead, Michael.
Now, I'll say it's something that can set you apart from someone else. Like, you know, now whether or not, which essentially means that it is judged, right? Like my feedback from Bernadette from Houston Tournament Champions was, you look like everyone else out there. You know, like you have a great physique. You know, you can tighten up, but you can do a lot more. You know, with your posing. You can do a lot more with your posing. And that's why you see people doing a lot more, like not too much, of course, but I mean, you out there to essentially, you know, put on a show and be captivating, like, you know, bring attention to yourself and do so in a smooth, you know, I mean, it's physique, right? So in a smooth kind of player, like Wade
Right.
or whatever. So I think it is judged, like presentation, stage presence is all part of posing. Conditioning, being able to hold your pose is all part of posing. So, even though we only have two, I think I think they're definitely, I think your routine is judged as well, so not as hard, but it is.
You can, and as far as posing goes too, even if we're not talking about necessarily routines, I've seen dudes fade so much in call outs where it doesn't look like they have the posing. I call it posing conditioning. I don't know what y'all call it, but you can't hold that. You haven't been practicing and you're fading. And I've seen guys lose placings because of that. So if that's what you mean, I would say, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, like that. And when I'm speaking, especially with Ben, like, if you want to compare it with him and E-Man, like if that's been E-Man's problem, then obviously the favor will go to Ben from the posing sense. But like, yeah, like the routine, like I don't know if there's an actual like check mark score for like your actual routine like being scored, but I do feel like it can play a benefactor to yourself because like it can individualize you. Or like if it is close, it's like, damn, but he's smooth on stage. Or like, or just your look, period. So like it gives you a chance to like individualize yourself to like, you know what, let me just see him next to this person real quick. And so it can't hurt to have a solid little routine that just kind of sticks out. But where posing really is taking place is like when you're getting compared and consistently being able to show them the same shot like every time. And so that's where it goes a long way.
And I mean, and typically, like, how many times have you seen someone that can't pose, like just a bad poser, win? Like, typically, they may not have the flashiest physique, but like stage presence, being able to flow from front to back, transition, and all that stuff. Like, typically, those people win.
Yeah.
Those people win. You can't give me. I can't think of a time when they did. So I think it matters. Like Jay Wood said, I mean, there's no itemized checklist, on certain things on the craft, but I mean, what you're bringing in that routine, you're gonna bring in your individual call outs as well. So I mean, you selling a package. So while it may not be judged and critiqued because they're looking at your physique, it can definitely be advantageous.
Right.
And I like, y'all know, like I love posing, right? Like that I love it. But to me,
you love dancing.
I can't dance though. I can't dance. I wish I could. I can't dance. Otherwise, I'd probably be on the Stomp the Yard re-rank or something like that. But what I'm saying, like to me, it also displays your effort and dedication to the sport by paying attention to that. And the way I liken it is to, like, for instance, classic. I see a lot of these dudes that are doing classic, but their posing is just like regular open bodybuilder poses. To me, like you're kind of disrespecting the division. And this is how I look at it. When you get up there and all you hitting is most musculars and stuff, it's like, oh, I know I can do classic because of the way it's probably going to be an easier road to get my pro card here, but you're not paying attention to like the artistry of the division and the posing, which I think matters. And to me, it's the same thing with men's physique. So that's how I look at it. Like, to me, it also shows your effort. It shows your dedication, and it shows that you put work into something that's important, because that's the entertainment factor. Without you posing, what the hell are we watching? Like, there's no entertainment there. So that's kind of how I look at it. Yep. And I'm one of the best posers in the world that nobody's ever heard about. I just want y'all to know that too. I make myself laugh, man. So y'all still can see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
All right. Mike Motivate. Don't know if he's doing the show, but he mentioned he might be in the running. So go ahead and look at him. I think his name is Mike Stripling. Trying to find a picture of something of him on stage. Here's a video. Y'all can see this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a tiny waist.
Yeah.
Tiny waist.
He actually came in a little off from this show, for real.
That Clarence, yeah, that's what's better than the back. Was you at this show, Justin?
Nah.
No.
This is out in like, it was like Colorado or something like that.
Okay. No. This is Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah.
Was this first call out?
Nah, because I think Clarence won this one, right? McSpadden?
Yeah.
Clarence didn't win that, did he?
Let me check.
What show did he win?
I
He
thought it was
won the
this one.
Norfolk show.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Never,
Matter of fact, Clarence
never
didn't
mind.
do as well as this show. He didn't do as well as he wanted to.
Yeah, he didn't win this show.
Or did Daniel win this one?
Yeah,
Ramses?
Daniel Ammons. Yeah, Daniel Ammons.
Oh, Ammons. Oh, yeah. That's a Fit Physique on IG.
Yeah, fit physique. Yeah.
That dude be coming in condition, bro. Wait, am I thinking of the right guy? Hold on.
Yeah.
That's him.
No,
He
you
come
are.
in condition.
You are.
Yeah. Okay. Like light skin almost.
Yeah.
He
He
is
is light
lighter.
skinned.
He's a lighter guy. He's the lighter guy.
Well, yeah. Well, I say light skin almost.
What is
like,
light skin almost?
Well, Micah light skin, but you see darker white people that might look like light skin too. So that's why I say almost. I don't know his ethnicity. So that's that's what
I wouldn't say he's black.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's not black. Yeah.
Help me out. Mike always trying to get me in trouble and canceled, bro. Like, come on, man. Yeah, man. So before we end it, I wanted to have a discussion with y'all about the evolution of the division. Because obviously, like, and I don't say this in a like rude way, but it's funny to go back and look at like when the division first started to where we're at now. Like you see the progression, and it seems to keep progressing. The physiques are getting better, the posing's getting better. Obviously the shows are, more entertainment. We're getting more money now. Like it's growing. So what do y'all see in the division for physiques for the whole nine? Just that's my question.
Well, I think overall, of course, you get a lot of them internet keyboard haters, talking about, well, it's just classic physique and board shorts and this and that. Granted, we see these guys up close and personal, so we know, a lot of us. I mean, we ain't packing muscle like these classic guys. And I mean, I'm sure I said this a million times. Like I said, those classic guys, I can take my 190 and their 190, and it's a whole different 190. You know what I mean? So like the muscle density is just totally different. It's packed on a little differently. So, so a lot of that's just like ignorance on their part. But at the same time, I feel like it's obviously been better for the division because just more size and where it's going overall. Well, let me retract a little bit because like I'm not saying that we need to get too crazy, but I feel like where the evolution has gone, I feel like it went in the right way because now, like it has opened up more opportunities where like men's physique guys could get different sponsorships. They're getting better sponsorships than bodybuilders would get. You know what I mean? And so, because the truth of the matter is like, some bodybuilders are just like hardcore, just bodybuilders, but like, we tend to have a little more personalities and this and that. So we're more marketable, but then we're also more, even though we're bigger now and the division's bigger, it's still more obtainable. So So I feel like the division went into the right direction. I think it's obviously involved in a way where like obviously people have gravitated towards it, and that's why people are throwing more coins our way. So I mean, what was the first? I mean, Boston Pro, they threw money anyways. What was the Arnold like? 10 racks in first place. eBay's got 10 racks in it.
I think so.
Yeah, it was some good money. Money.
Yeah, so like I think not too long ago it was like 5. It's like 5 stacks for first place.
Granted, quite honestly, if we just keeping it a buck, I think that in itself is still hilarious to me. That he only
still underpaid.
It's way
underpaid. It's still underpaid, but I mean like, it's better than what it was though.
Yeah, for sure.
Better than what it was. Yeah.
When you look at the hype that the division brings in, the competitors that it brings in, the people. I'm looking at some of these, like I'll go to some of these amateur shows. It's 50, 60 men's physique competitors compared to like 20 bodybuilders. So like the money is
that's why. Yeah, but that's why though, right? I mean, it's which one is tougher to achieve? Oh, obviously.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, of course, I mean, and that's where all this started.
Right.
So I mean, I ain't gonna that's the grandfather of it. So of course they're gonna get theirs. Now you can definitely justify that we should get more.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't even compare myself to them. I'm like, shoot, they making careers out of it.
Right.
They've been doing that far longer than we've been bodybuilding, so they definitely earned that. But I mean, we could definitely stand to make. I mean, I think for any show, I mean, your cap can be, 7 to 10K. I think that's an honest. That's a good number based upon what I'm sure, they making.
That's what I'm getting at.
So But I mean, it'll get there. I mean, we're still kind of in the infancy, right?
Yeah.
You know, when it came in with 2012.
Yeah, I don't even think it's been a decade, has it?
Yes, I mean, you're talking about the evolution. Yeah. So you're talking about the evolution. That is the evolution of it. Because if you look at where it first started, imagine everybody still like you could have just went out to the beach and put some shorts on somebody, and that's what it was. And people think it's going to stay there. And I'm like, you know, this is the sport of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding, you're improving your physique over time. So you don't expect Dre, you know, Ray, you know, Buendia, like all these guys, you know, Brandon, to look the same every year. You bodybuilding. So you're going to improve every year. And that's why the division really shifted because, you know, you got those, you know, when Ron and them came in, they changed, you know, it was a different look, but they still maintain that aesthetic, but it also brought credibility to the division.
Yeah.
Right. Because before that, it was like, dog, this is any old dude in the gym can just come in here and put on some shorts. You know, nobody want to be part of that.
No.
At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can do it. Like, you know, that's one of the things that I hated, you know, when it first started off, like not everybody can do it. And although, like Jay Wood said, we're far more achievable than, you know, classic, you know, 212 open bodybuilding. We still look like bodybuilders.
Facts.
Right. We still look like we go in there, put in the work, trying to improving our physique from head to toe. Facts. You know, with the potential. Like if you're saying that we look like classic dudes, one, that's really a compliment because we're supposed to be gradually, you know, potentially moving out and moving up anyway.
That was my next question. That was my next
question. Wait. Why exactly is it that they're barely raising the money, prize money for men's physique, man? If that's the case, like if we're really that, I really am. Like if we're really the most marketable division, the most achievable look.
Yeah, but you got to think.
Like, I mean, wait.
So that's what I was getting at. But basically, what Mike is saying, it's a pecking order. So just wait your turn. That's basically what it comes down to.
Look at Figure. Figure made what 50K.
Yeah.
In Olympia, Figure been around longer.
Yeah.
You know, it is a pecking order. And look how many shows we got, you know, so they paying out. We got more shows. They paying out more over the course of the year than some, you know, other categories. So, you know, we have, and we not pushing the type of things that other people are pushing as well. So we can compete, you know, in those, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Can compete and we can make this a living, you know, where if you're a bodybuilder, you.
Yo, all right, you cut out. Headphones dying.
All right, what about you? Good?
Good. All right.
But yeah, I can hear you. Yep, we good.
If you're a bodybuilder, like the people that did these first couple shows, not competing throughout the course of the year, right? They got to take that break because they pushing, you know, whatever, to be real, you know, some crazy amounts, you know what I'm saying, or some decent amounts. So they can't do that all year. Women can't do it all year either.
Right.
Only reason Ashley can is because she stayed fit all year, you know. So, I mean, we have an opportunity. We can get plenty of contracts, you know, sponsorships or whatever, you know, they can't get because we are more marketable. So, I mean, this is one of those things, you got to make your money kind of outside of the sport, you know, and you can take advantage of, you know, the opportunities that you get with, I mean, look, Andre Du making money, Brandon making money, Dre, this is what he does, Raymond, this is what, you know what I'm saying? So it's plenty.
But they're the top 1% though.
But that's, so in comparison, how many bodybuilders do you have? You got 25 on the Olympia stage. It's 70, it's a 50 of us or whatever on the Olympia stage. Like it's far less of them than it is of us. So it's more of us. We have more opportunities. I mean, we gotta, you know, you gotta get it. You gotta get it how you get it. You know, but I mean, we're far more marketable, and that allows us to obtain things outside of, you know, just being on stage than really bodybuilders. You know, like you don't see Rami and no ads like that.
No, you don't. You're right.
Like you don't see any of them.
You know, I haven't even even now with the way that the fitness trend is going clothing wise, Like men's physique is kind of running that game. Like all the guys I'm looking at.
That is true, yeah.
Supplements, clothing, like all that stuff, because who's marketable?
Mm-hmm.
Like they was saying, like who has that personality that's captivating?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be men's physique and classic guys, which is why like that's how they making their money.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let me go ahead, because since y'all were talking about like, you know, like being around longer and stuff like that. Now, I know classic is the closest thing to like open bodybuilding, but I know we talked about also like waiting in order when it comes to like wait till you get yours. Shit, Ruffin made about what 60,000 in that, Arnold?
That is true.
Yep.
See what I mean?
So, like, I had to just think about that. I'm like, yo, he made a smooth 60,000 winning that show. So, like, you know, so I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not even disregarding. And actually I do feel like really, I felt like the money was really going to be in classic. Like when it came out, I felt like that was going to be like the true division, because it's that mix between both. Between like, yeah, it's like that open, not open look, but like it's bodybuilding, but then it comes like these guys are coming in more, you know, more personality. So it's like really in between men's physique and bodybuilding. That's the division.
Yeah.
So like I felt like they would get to that point where the money will get thrown in that division. And Arnold Schwarzenegger clearly thought that, because he threw the money all in that, all on the classic division. So
well, I think one thing we like, because don't get me wrong, I agree. Classic, it seems like it's getting ready to, you know, be whatever the divisions, but where classic is blessed to me is Bumstead. He is like the prototypical face that you would want of a division, and like he's completely grown that division just by being Chris Bumstead, bro. Like
for the Olympia, they still only got 35K.
That's it.
Yeah, so I think that might have been an Arnold thing.
Figure still got 50K. I think Bikini even made like 50.
Bikini got more, didn't they? Bikini got more than men's physique by far.
That's what I'm saying. Like Bikini and Figure both made like 50K, right? And classic and men's physique, because I mean we're the last two. And wellness, I forgot what wellness made, but I mean it's like 35K, which isn't a bad number. You know, right. Like I said, you can argue it for it being much higher, you know, but I think it's just waiting to test the time. And I mean, you know, Arnold was a classic dude. So classic, I'm like, he probably gonna throw. I mean, I think classic is gonna be one of the biggest divisions just in general, you know. So, and I think you got a lot of people, you know, stakeholders like Arnold, you know, that can do more to kind of make that shift happen. And that's kind of what, you know, he's doing. Yeah. So want to see, I'm sure next year it might be at 100K.
And hold on, we ain't even talking about the fact that Boston Pro ended with the classic physique results.
Yeah.
That never happens. Ever. And that might have been the first time that's ever happened, actually. Yeah. The bodybuilding didn't close out the show. I didn't know if it was Boston Pro just trying to be different or that was a message being sent. But I'm like, that's different. I mean, that ain't normal.
Yeah.
Ain't that what you wrote about earlier?
Yeah, I think you'll see it more though. Like, I mean, the Olympia is the Olympia, right? Yeah. I mean, they're gonna stick to they guns. That's women's bodybuilding, open bodybuilding. Like, you know, that's weeder. You know what I'm saying? The rest of bodybuilding, you know, because all the other IFBB is outside of Olympia, right? So they can shape it up however they want to, you know, and they will. Like I said, any of these other shows, I guarantee, like, just understanding how captivating just that division is, they're definitely gonna push and promote it, you know, and it's smart. For sure. It's smart.
So, all right, here's my last question. And
John didn't answer.
Oh, John, you didn't answer? Quiet mother. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I mean, bro, y'all all saying the same thing. I'm really just stuck on like how we're not getting paid much, honestly.
He's still focused on the money.
I really am. Because like the stuff y'all are saying makes sense, but it don't at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where what's up?
You can get paid. You can get paid. You know,
I'm not saying like you can't, but Woods just said that Classic literally. When did Classic come out? What, 2015? Yeah, 2014.
2015, I think.
Yeah, and men's physique been out since 2012.
I don't know. That's when it was at the Olympia. I don't know exactly when the first show was, but I'm pretty sure 2015. Because Breon won 3.
Breon won 2.
2?
Yeah.
Bumstead got 2. Hester won.
Bumstead got 3.
Bumstead got 3. Hester won 1. So yeah, that would be 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah. I'm over here counting on my. I have an education for those watching. I'm counting on my fingers.
Dia had 4.
Mark Anthony had 1. Buendia had 4.
Brandon got 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray got 1. Got 1.
So you got 9.
Yeah.
So yeah. So 2012.
It's crazy. So the next question I was gonna ask.
But look at what look at 2012.
Yeah, I don't give me
that is true, but yeah.
Look at 2012 men's physique. Like men's physique now, you know, if you were the place where it is now, like back then, I think you would have a bigger, you know, platform in terms of like, you know, just monetary compensation at shows.
Right.
You know, our fight was different because we were still shaping what the division would look like. You know, bikini didn't have bikini's still bikini.
Yeah.
Figure still figure. Like every other division is still that division. Like ours has been shaped up, you know, and evolved far more than any other one did. You know, and a lot of that was to gain those types of opportunities.
Right.
Like them dudes that first started in 2012. Have you seen them those old videos?
It's hilarious. Yeah. Bro, some of them dudes walked out on stage like basketball shorts on, like real talk.
I
remember seeing one of them wearing and one shorts.
One dude had flip flops on and like basketball shorts. And like,
my dude had New Balance on walking on that Olympia stage.
Wearing and one.
It was terrible, man. Like it was terrible, you know. And so, I mean, it'll come. It'll come. It has to come. It has to come. It's come for all the other divisions, and just like Drew was saying, like men's physique is similar to, you know, even like bikini and wellness, and that, you know, it's one of the more achievable. So all of these shows you have, it's one of the biggest categories there. Like for NPC and amateur, you know, so it's drawing people in. It just has to draw the right people in.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and that's what it is. So as long as we keep improving our look, we'll be good.
Yeah. So now that Michael, you said this and you mentioned this a couple of times, so I wanted to ask: should the goal be to progress out the division?
I feel like it.
I feel like yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, if I'm looking at somebody like Brandon, you know, I think Brandon actually has a complete physique. You know, they're gonna have to make me move. Like they're gonna have to tell me that I'm too big, you know, or I can't win anymore. Kind of like they did Breon, right? So for people like that, you know, I guess to answer it, yes, right. I think that you should be improving your physique, filling in gaps, and if you're doing that, you'll eventually move out of the division. You know, if you continue to gain muscle and progress, but that looks a little bit different for everybody because not everybody can be an open bodybuilder. Not everybody can be classic. Like it just can't fill out every frame the same. You know what I'm saying? So you'll have some that'll be able to do it a lot easier than others because of their training, genetics, you know, whatever else. So I think you should continuously improve. And for those, you'll have some people that will just organically, just naturally just find themselves, you know, graduating beyond, you know, their places will start suffering because they're not maintaining the aesthetic of the division anymore.
Right.
And that's essentially what it is. And once you stop doing that, then you out.
Right.
You know, but I mean, the biggest thing is improving. If you still got the look, Brandon still has the look, right? He got small gaps where he can improve certain things. He keep improving those, he keep winning. I'm not going anywhere, you know, but he also has a complete physique. He got legs, you know, he got shoulders, chest, you know, back. He got things that he can get better, but he's still winning. So as long as you maintaining that aesthetic and you still winning, ain't no point in moving up, but he's still improving. So I think that's the name of the game. The name of the game is improving, maintaining that aesthetic. And once you don't, it's time for you to go someplace else. Like Breon.
I think it depends on the body type too. Because like, you know, since we talked about him earlier with Guidry, like he's not a person that can like really, well, not I can't say he can't, but like, you know, I can't see him like dimming down in certain size in certain areas and looking better. So like to fill out his gaps, he actually has to go bigger to match his arms and stuff like that, which he's in a position where like, okay, he can go ahead and do what he has to do. There are some people that like randomly, I even say for myself, I feel like I got decent little size, but like there's still some areas where I can still fill out. Now, granted, my like 185 might look like somebody's 200, but like based on how I'm structurally placed, I can still put on in certain areas where like it's like, all right, well, it's like you can actually still add on more, you know. But like, yeah, I just think it's just depending on like people's like overall structure and how they look. Because like certain people just can't, they don't have room to grow like that. And just like how we talk about these taller physiques, like E-Banks ain't never doing classic.
No.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, he ain't ever doing classic. He better get on everything to go do classic, you know. So like that's what I'm saying. So like he ain't gonna fill it out to a classic type physique. And even I mean Bumstead's the only real true tall guy that's actually doing like decent, I mean not decent, but doing well in classic, you know, because all the other tall guys, they really ain't filling out like that.
Nope.
And so there's just some people that they can fill in these gaps a little differently just based on how their structure is, and some people they just can't, you know.
And that one dude that was huge in classic moved to open. I can't wait to see what he bring. Lord Jones, bro. I cannot wait to see that dude filled out in bodybuilding. I cannot wait, bro. Like that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, shoot, Bumstead isn't that tall. He's just tall compared to.
Yeah, he's only 6 foot, ain't he?
He's just 6 foot.
Yeah.
So Banks is taller than Bumstead, you know. So yeah, Banks ain't going to no.
Yeah, no, he ain't going to classic, dog.
That's gonna be tough.
John, how you feel hearing all this? RoboCop?
Based on genetics, personal preference. I mean, at the end of the day, this is bodybuilding. If neither one of us on this podcast didn't want to move up, we would all stop training legs, right?
I did that like 10 years ago. So
you stopped training legs 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Well, never mind. But you see what I mean, though.
Yeah,
no, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
We still growing. That's it.
Yeah.
You know.
I train legs. I do train legs, John. And the only reason I train legs is for a couple of reasons. Like I heard it helps with, testosterone and all that stuff. Train legs. So I do that, and so nobody can make fun of me. That's the only reason I train legs. If you told me I could get the physique that I'm trying to achieve without doing legs, I'm taking that hands down. I hate doing legs, bro. So I tell people that I hate doing legs. I still can, keep my pace. I'm still strong in that area. I don't like doing it. It's stupid.
Well, I mean, to each their own.
The necessary evil.
But at the end of the day, I mean, the thought of bodybuilding is to progress, right?
Yep.
I mean,
and as long as you're improving, I mean, you maintaining the integrity of the sport, So, like they will say, I mean, genetics, and just, like, shoot, it's tough for me, almost 6 foot to kind of fill out that frame and to be like a contender in classic, like, to be up there, like, feel like I need to be up there. Oh, that's a walk. That's like 2, 3 years. So that's not an easy thing. That's not an easy journey for anybody. So I mean, it's not like 2 years you out, 3 years you out. Like that's a journey.
Yeah.
And when you talk about it too, bro, like and you mentioned it, the newness of the division, like a lot when Classic started, they pretty much had an idea of what Classic could be. And a lot of the dudes that jumped in that had been basically training for bodybuilding and then just went to Classic, right?
They were undersized bodybuilders.
Yeah, but as you said, like men's physique, there really wasn't. There's not really that option. There ain't one. Like a lot of these dudes was working out, they got in the division, then had to like you said, mold themselves to where the division was going. There really wasn't that.
Now they picked some of them dudes and was like, "Hey, do you want to get on stage real quick?" They came out there, got on stage, and it looked terrible,
bro. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I watch the Perfect Physique movie, I laugh. And it's not because I'm like, it's just to see the guys that were representing men's physique like in that movie. First of all, I wasn't no black dudes, but one, I don't understand that in the first place. But Now, did you do in that movie and you see the level of physiques that were like elite? We talking about Buendia, obviously, who was still growing, Sadiq, Poston. He would not be contending probably now, even though he was dope. Matt, something, little shorter guy. Like a lot of them dudes wouldn't even be in the running. But it, like you said, to see that evolution is just hilarious to me when I watched that.
Yo, man, that was a division with no identity, man. That was terrible. That was terrible. I see that.
Before we get off, I know we were talking about classic and whatnot, and everything they got going on. But yo, man, that cat they got second was named Tony.
Tony Duan.
Yo, man, and he was a Men's Physique guy.
He's out here. Yo, I got to see Tony like 4 or 5 times. He'd be working out in my gym sometimes.
Yo, like
it's an argument he could have won. It's an argument he could have won last weekend.
When I see dudes like that, maybe dudes like that make you want to go ahead and throw on some trunks on, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, like he was looking cold out there. That boy had a physique. I couldn't even. That boy looked good, man. Yeah. But like but that does kind of show like what we talked about. Now I will say this: the good thing is us physique guys have been able to make easy transitions and place top 5, top 3 in shows and stuff like that. The classic show, but like. But no, I just want to highlight him, man, because I was looking at these pictures. I looked at his routine on YouTube, and it's like, that man had it going on, man. That man had it going on.
So, hot take, there's a rumor going around that he might be looking to actually hit 212 within the next year or so and grow. If you're talking about progressing and moving.
Right. I mean, he's a shorter guy.
He's short, so him at 190, 185 would look stupid with him being. He is short too. That ain't
and plus, I mean, it's a lot more. You ain't doing nothing with Bumstead and Ruff.
No,
Now you got Lunsford, right? And what's Giant Killer?
Yeah.
And, but
I think back down.
Exactly. So I think it's a little bit more parity in 212. You just kind of out there enjoying the ride, saying that y'all was here,
And on top of that, now they already kind of like breeding the next guy. Like Urs is getting all the like hype and potential, and he's gonna be the future. And the guy can stand next to Bumstead, so you kind of already see who's next. He's kind of sitting there unless another freak comes.
So. But nah, my man did look sharp. That was the only reason I be wanting to do it, man. I looked at him like, I can do it.
Y'all ain't never thought about just jumping in one day? Not even like making it a permanent thing, just jumping in one?
I have, honestly, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm not trying to go out there and get my ass whooped.
I look like NPC competitor out there.
Yeah, so if go out there, I knew I could go out there and hold my own, for sure. But when I can do that, I'm probably gonna be ready to go ahead and do it anyway.
Oh yeah. So all right. So would it take anything away from Brandon if he said I'm gonna jump in a classic show just to see how I do? Do you think it takes away the mystique in Men's Physique? Because I remember specifically him saying his goal was to go to classic. He was going to do it. But then, like you said, he won. And all that was gone. That was when he wasn't winning the Olympias. Once he won, that talk.
I think it's still his goal, though.
Is it?
I think, his goal, he verbally said that he want to be a Men's Physique and classic physique champion. I don't know about classic, but like, don't be surprised. He's truly gonna outgrow the division. I feel like, and where they're gonna be eyeing on is like Ebanks, personally.
Right.
That's what I think. I think that's where it's going with it. So I think within the next 2 to 3 years, don't be surprised if Brandon mess around and he slide up in the classic.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he might try to beat Buendia, and then
Buendia.
Yeah, for the Olympias.
Beat his record. I thought Buendia was coming back. I'm like, hold on now.
Well, that was the
coming back.
Yeah, but it ain't this year. Is it?
Oh.
They say he is, man.
I know he looked. Don't get me wrong. I follow him. Like Buendia looked like he getting back to old Buendia, but I didn't know if he was getting on stage this year. I never heard him make that announcement yet.
I think other people might be saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that, bro. I would not mind seeing where he would be.
Gonna be a tough
Y'all
walk.
think what y'all think Drake gonna do? What y'all think Drake gonna do this year? You think
Drake
Drake
who?
Ferguson?
That's a good question.
Y'all think he's just sitting back?
Bro, so Dre is like my favorite men's physique competitor, like all time, right?
He won Tampa last year.
Yeah, he won Tampa last year.
I think he wanted to kind of give himself a break and improve as well. And then he was gonna flip that switch. And
my thing with Dre is, and I hope this ain't the case, but it looks like the same thing with Breon by these last placings. It's like the judges are saying we don't like your physique, and I'm like, well, how does he change that?
I mean, what's wrong with his physique though?
Nothing. That's my point. I don't get it.
I will say for that Atlanta coach, man, like, I don't know what my man was doing with his back pose. Like one shoulder was higher than the other.
He has a torn labrum in his shoulder
that he won't go get repaired.
Yeah, so it just didn't look good.
No,
you can see what he has. You can see, like, you know, in terms of symmetry. Like, I mean, that's the definition of, you know, symmetry, just coming out there and be able to stand straight on and not even do anything. But when you can't even get into your poses that you judged for, like you critiqued on those two poses. I mean, it ain't about what you can do. It's what have you done for me lately? What are you doing on stage? And that's truly why, you know, Guidry plays higher than him and Arya won. Because to me, I mean, he looked like Arya was good.
Arya was good.
Yeah, but I mean, Dre physique.
Yeah, Arya shouldn't beat Dre ever. Like, honestly.
Yeah, but when you can't pose, when you one shoulder up here and the other one down, and you constantly moving.
Bro, he been doing that for like 2 years.
If you go look at, if you can find a video, like this was the worst that I've seen it.
Was it?
Like it was like it was cocked up.
Yeah.
You know, everything was off and nothing was symmetric.
Right.
You know, about it. So I mean, whatever, if he get that stuff fixed, I don't think people saying they don't like his physique. You know, they probably seen it come in, you know, certain ways, and that's the expectation he's been held to. And you got other people that's got their foot on the gas. Like, ain't nobody else slowing down, and you not getting Emmanuel, right? Like we just said, you came in looking, we'll say no better, no worse. Everybody else got better. They gonna lap you, right? They gonna lap you because they improving. So he got to improve. Whether that be coming in hard as nails, conditioning on point, fixing their posing, you know, whatever. But I mean, he still got a physique that can definitely, you know, win the Olympia.
Oh no, Dre, like I said, Dre my favorite all time. So like I'll openly say that as far as his physique. You know, somebody I've been wondering, I ain't really heard from nothing. Stephen Cow. Like, has anybody heard what he's doing? Because he had like a little, I mean, he had that good little Arnold placing. Everybody was kind of talking about him. It seemed like the judges like his physique, and then he just like,
you know, he had I forgot what show he was doing, and then he ended up catching COVID, and I don't know, I guess he got one of them bad strands, and he was out, and so he was like, I guess he talked it over with his coach, and he was like, you know, we were going to make a push for it, but you know, we're just going to hold out until 2022. Basically, and see what we can do. So that's why you didn't see him out there really making a push for anything last year. So I mean, this year is gonna be. I can't wait till everybody, you know, getting back out there, man. In all honesty.
Nah, I'm same way, bro. I love the division. I love watching it. The newcomers, the old comers, all that, bro. Like it's fun. So I'm excited. But all right, we'll end it there, man. We've been talking for a minute. I appreciate everybody that's watching. Appreciate everybody that's listening. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think this is episode 3. Y'all see the improvement. Y'all hear the improvement. We're flowing better. We're doing everything better. So it's just going to continue to go that way. Missing one of our guys today, but again, appreciate y'all for listening. Appreciate y'all for watching. We'll see y'all next week.